And welcome back to Two Box Live from Two Box Media, TWO Box Media. Follow us on whatever social media platform you're on. Go to the website, check us out, hit subscribe, and all of that. I'm Greg Nibbler, and thanks for joining us. And I am very excited to have here on this show for the very first time. It is Winnie Sun from Sun Group Financial. Winnie, thank you so much for joining us. It's so good to see you.
Oh goodness, it's so wonderful to be with you again, Greg. I've missed you.
I know, I've missed you too. I mean, I've been following along with all of your shows, but this is different. This is now I get to talk to you. So, Winnie, thank you for being here, and for everybody out there, I'm really excited to have you on here to help break down these financial questions that we are all dealing with. It's all confusing. You make it so simple, and I wanted to start off just really talking about, it's hard to believe, but we're at the season for taxes right now, and thinking about this and thinking about finances and going forward. And there's so many different changes that have gone on. Can you kind of run down for us what some of the big things are that we should be thinking about, what the changes are, what people should be doing?
Absolutely. There's so many changes that have taken place, right? We finally got that second round of stimulus funding that so many of us were waiting for. That $900 billion pandemic relief bill finally got passed. And we got a $600 stimulus check finally getting passed. Not great, but it is what it is. And then that $300 unemployment benefit came back into fruition, so that was a good thing. But certainly, I think the thing you want to focus on and continue to focus on is, what do we do going forward? How do you make sure you've got that emergency fund saved up, and making sure that you have enough money not only for tax season but just for thriving and surviving right now?
Yeah, and looking at that, are there any tips that you would have for people out there who are trying to plan ahead? Everything's just so, I hate using the word uncertain times, but I mean, it just is. It's very confusing on what people should be doing. Any quick tips or advice you'd have?
Absolutely. I think the main thing is to not overthink it, but also try to see if you can automate things. The best way to do it, people always ask me, should I start planning for a month in advance, a year in advance? It just seems so daunting. And I would say, try and break it up to a daily basis. So try and just save, $10 a day or $20 a day, whatever you can, stick it right into your bank account and just keep it there so it's safe for you to use. But don't stress yourself out. Don't kill yourself if you're not able to save a whole bunch right now, because we know there's so many other factors that are coming into play.
Yeah, I think that's great. So just kind of chip away with what you can, but not add on to everybody's already pretty high stress levels. That's great advice. You mentioned the $600 stimulus check, which I know for a lot of people they've already gotten it. I'll say I haven't gotten mine yet, but and that's something that I think probably a lot of people are thinking about right now, is when that would be coming, and then maybe down the line if there would be another one. So for people out there who haven't gotten it, I guess that kind of be my first question. Like, is that something to worry about? Should you be, how can you find out about that? And then maybe even your thoughts on if there'll be another one.
So, that's a good question. So stimulus checks have already started to be sent out if you had direct deposit set up. And if you're not sure, then you can definitely jump on the IRS website. There's information there in the area that they call it Get My Payment Tool, which is on the IRS website. That can actually give you a status on your stimulus check. Now, if you're expecting the check and maybe you're not sure if they have the right address, you can also go online. You can provide that updated information. You can call them, but you want to make sure that they have the right information for you. In terms of what will this look like? Well, we do know that President-elect Joe Biden has said continuously that if he's elected, that there will probably be more stimulus relief. So at this point, we do know that a lot of people didn't agree with the $600 amount. I certainly didn't. I think that there should be greater relief during this time for Americans to get through this unprecedented pandemic. So hopefully, come January 20th and beyond, probably soon after that, we hear about more stimulus funding coming in.
That's great. So yeah, that maybe sooner than later then. So that's definitely something I agree. I think people need more of that right now. I mean, that's something just to get through. $600 doesn't do a lot for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Fascinating. So going from there's something else I wanted to bring up, and I know you've been talking about this, but the lottery is huge right now. There's some really big jackpots out there, and I think all of us like to dream of that, of winning it. But then, what do you do with it? How do you handle that if you were to win? It's a lovely, kind of pie in the sky kind of thing, but somebody's going to get it. So what would your advice be on that?
I love that you bring this up because we need a little bit of happiness in our life, and I know no, I haven't bought a
Right?
lottery ticket in a long time, but maybe we should try to buy a ticket. But if you win the lottery, people always say like, well, do people really win this lottery? People like me won't win the lottery. But I've actually had clients that have won the lottery. I think the first thing you want to do, I'm going to give you, because there's so many things you need, but the first thing you want to do is sign your ticket. Because if you don't sign your ticket and you lose it or someone gets it, then you've lost your ticket. The second thing you want to do is try to not let people find out who you are as long as you can. That way you can sort of do the planning. And the third thing, which I think is super important, is to put together your financial team. So you want an accountant, you want a financial advisor or team, like someone like myself who really knows how to manage those monies. And we also become a gatekeeper to all the people that are going to start to want money from you. So you sort of have a game plan in place. So think about it that way. It's like you're getting this very large amount, and all of a sudden everybody's going to want to be your uncle or aunt and come into some money too. So you have to have a plan in place.
Well, Winnie, you'll be the first person I call if I win, so expect that, I'm sure.
I hope so.
The ticket that I'm going to buy. Actually, quick random question for you. What's the first thing Winnie Sun would buy if she won the lottery?
Oh goodness. So, I'm sort of old school this way, but I didn't come from a lot of money. I built everything that I have, and I'm a big believer in if any time I have money, I'm going to help my parents out, my kids out, my husband, make sure that everybody in my life is going to be okay, because I really feel very blessed to have a lot of what I already need, which is, my 3 little ones downstairs, husband downstairs. That's pretty good.
That's a great answer. Winnie, I want to say thank you very much for joining us here too. It's so nice to see you and to talk to you. And I want to make sure that we let everybody know how to follow along. Because, yes, if I win the lottery, I'll be calling, but there's a lot of other things that you do and that you provide. And I want to make sure everybody knows about all of that.
Thank you. Thank you, Greg. Well, first off, hopefully continue to watch the show, because hopefully I'll be here all the time. But also you can find me just going on Twitter at Winnie Sun. I'm all over social, on LinkedIn, wherever is most convenient to you, that's where I'll be.
Winnie, thank you so much. And yes, absolutely. We'll be talking again very soon. Appreciate you being here on the show. And it's good to see you. Happy New Year.
Good to see you. Congratulations on a new show. So excited.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Winnie Sun right here on 2 Box Live.